Why do we eat? Why is the sky blue? Why is a plus b whole square calculated as a square plus b square plus 2ab?
Why?
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 Why, God, why?
ஏன் என்ற கேள்வி இங்கு கேட்காமல் வாழ்க்கை இல்லை நான் என்ற எண்ணம் கொண்ட மனிதன் வாழ்ந்ததில்லை.
In this video, we'll try to understand a few why concepts that are part of the CA syllabus, starting with this. Y is cost indifference point in marginal costing calculated as difference in fixed costs divided by difference in variable costs. Now before answering that, we need to understand what is indifference. When it comes to choices, indifference means that a person is equally okay with both the choices that he has. Now some people might be indifferent between coffee and tea. Others might be indifferent between models of cars, while a few others may be even indifferent when it comes to food.
அது என்னமா நண்டு தானே வைங்க வைங்க நான் வருத்தப்பட மாட்டேன்.
In terms of costing, it means that we are equally okay with two different cost structures. In essential terms, this means that both cost structures give us the same profit. But wait, what do we mean by cost structures? Now let us look at a marginal costing income statement to understand this even better. We have sales less variable costs, which gives us the contribution. From here, when we deduct the fixed costs, we arrive at what is known as the profit. Now looking closely here, we see that a marginal costing statement has a variable cost and a fixed cost. Now we could have a cost structure which has a higher variable cost and a lower fixed cost, or a cost structure which has a higher fixed cost and a lower variable cost. In either case, where the profit is equal between the cost structures, we are said to be indifferent between the cost structures. Now let us try to understand this with an example. Assume I'm running a company and I'm looking to hire a salesman. I have two potential candidates. Salesman 1, Mr. Sri.
Thank you, Mr. Sri. What is your salary expectation by the way?
I am expecting 25,000 fixed salary and 4 rupees commission for each sale.
Okay, thank you. Our team will get back to you.
Thank you.
Salesman 2, Mr. Ram.
Thanks, Mr. Ram. What is your CDC expectation by the way?
I am looking for 40k fixed and 2 rupees as sales commission.
Okay, our HR will get back to you. Please do.
Thank you.
Now this is a classic case of different cost structures. Mr. Sri, as we see, is a higher variable cost and a low fixed cost option, whereas Mr. Ram is a lower variable cost but a high fixed cost option. Now what is my indifference between Mr. Sri and Mr. Ram? It's very easy. It is the sales level at which both the cost structures give me the same profit. Now let us go ahead and calculate the indifference point in this case. Since we are comparing cost structures, it makes sense to keep all other factors constant. So the selling price is going to be the same in both cases, that is rupees 10. The sales volume, which is the indifference point that we are going to be calculating, is kept as a variable, which is x in our case. This leaves it with a sales value of 10x in both cases. Now the sales is going to be 10x in both cases. From here we deduct the variable cost, which is 4x for Mr. Sri and 2x for Mr. Ram, which gives us the contribution for both cases, 6x and 8x respectively. From this we deduct the fixed costs, which is 25,000 in case of Mr. Sri and 40,000 in the case of Mr. Ram, to arrive at what we call the profit, which is 6x minus 25,000 for Mr. Sri and 8x minus 40,000 for Mr. Ram. Now listen carefully. We know that the sales is equal in both cases. Since this is the indifference point, we also know that the profits are going to be equal. Now what this means is that the total cost for Mr. Sri should all be equal to the total cost of Mr. Ram. So variable cost of Sri plus fixed cost of Sri should be equal to variable cost of Ram plus fixed cost of Ram. That means 4x plus 25,000 should be equal to 2x plus 40,000. Now like in all maths equations, let us bring all the x's to one side. So 4x minus 2x should be equal to 40,000 minus 25,000. Taking x common, we see the below equation. Now if you look closely, 4 is the variable cost of Sri and 2 is variable cost of Ram. Here 40,000 is the fixed cost of Ram and 25,000 is fixed cost of Sri. So X equals 40,000 minus 25,000 divided by 4 minus 2, which is nothing but the difference in fixed cost divided by the difference in variable costs. Going forward with the calculation, X equals 7,500 units. So in our case, the cost indifference point is going to be 7,500 units.
Now let us do a sense check to see if 7,500 units is the correct indifference point.
Now for a sales volume to be equal to the indifference point, the profit under option 1 should be equal to the profit under option 2. So in our case, 6x minus 25,000 should be equal to 8x minus 40,000. Now where we substitute x as 7,500 units, we find out that the profit in both cases turns out to be 20,000 each, which shows that this is the indifference point. Meeting with the sales manager.
Hello, Mr. Varadarajan. How are you?
Good, sir.
How is everyone at home? Family all safe?
Good, sir.
Okay. How is work from home? How are you feeling?
Good, sir.
Okay. Good, Mr. Varadarajan. So tell me, how is the sales projections for this month coming up?
Good, sir.
Good. Arey, you're telling good only. Tell me a number.
6,000 units, sir.
6,000? Only 6,000 units? Why so low?
COVID, sir.
Oh, shit. Same issue. Okay. You stay safe. We will meet when office reopens, okay?
Okay, good, sir.
Okay, bye, Mr. Varadarajan. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Now we know that the sales budget is 6,000 units and the indifference point is 7,500 units. With all these facts in hand, who do you think would be a better fit for the organization to be appointed as the salesman? Let us know in the comments below.